All right, this is annoying. So my laptop crashed a couple weeks ago, and I'm using a different laptop, and my camera doesn't have a USB 3 port. So my camera won't work. So last week I went live from my phone, and it seemed to work out okay. And this week I can't get into the same live stream that I created, that I spent time creating the thumbnail, putting the description. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give you guys a minute to jump in there. And okay, so if you are watching, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Oh my God, Mandy, I'm so freaking annoyed. Am I cutting out? I don't want to go inside, Kenny. All right, hold on. I guess I'll go inside. All right, we're gonna go inside. Thought maybe I could do this outside, show you guys the garden, all the work. Oh, it was fine right there? I'm good right there? Okay, hang on. All right, let's see. All right, maybe I can just sit here. Okay, can you hear me okay? Yes, cutting out. Okay, my back. Do I sound okay, or do I need to go in? You guys gonna seriously make me go inside? Or no, tell me if the signal's okay there. Sound good? So I can stay outside with the sun shining on me. I'm so happy. Okay, let me get my notes for my pantry notes. So good. Video's good and audio's good. Awesome. Yeah, so my darn computer crashed on me. My laptop with the USB 3 port crashed a couple weeks ago. So I have to use a different laptop, and it doesn't have a USB 3 port. So last week when I attempted to go live, the video wasn't working. So I came in on my phone, and it was no problem. I came in on the link that I created. And, you know, for anybody that is creating content, you know, like, it takes time to create your thumbnail, and then I take time to, you know, mindful of what I put in the show notes and letting you know what it's all going to be about. And so all that work for nothing. Let's see. That may have been the problem with the volume we talked about before. Oh yeah, I fixed the volume issue. So hold on, I'm turning my volume up here. Okay. Hey Howie, how are you? Okay, thanks for being here, you guys. Yeah, so we're just talking about my technical issues. I'm gonna get a new laptop, or I don't know that my other one is fixable, so I can get onto the. So basically, I can use my my good webcam. I mean, obviously the camera on your phone is really good, but this is annoying, right? I mean, I don't mind being on my phone, but I couldn't figure out how to get in it. I'm cutting out again. Ugh. Okay, hang on. Okay. All right, Mandy, better? Perhaps better? Not bad though, just stick with it. Let my Okay. Well, this is where I always sit. So, and I usually always have a good connection. So I'm going to stay right here. Or I'm going to go sit right in the middle of the darn garden. So Howie says, it's sunny right here, and just sat down to my steak and fresh horseradish. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. So I did a video a little while back on fresh horseradish, which is on my list of things to always have in your pantry, and taking those roots and peeling them, chopping them up, freezing them on a cookie sheet, and then throwing them in a jar and putting them in the freezer. And that way you can always have good fresh horseradish. Throw it in a little food processor with a little bit of white vinegar and water. And oh my gosh, it's so amazing. You're making me hungry, Howie. That sounds really good. My neighbor behind me is moving, and she's got horseradish growing back there. So I'm gonna go back there and steal some of her horseradish and some of her tulips and some of the things she has growing that, you never know if new people moving in are going to appreciate what other people have planted. She's lived there since 1971 or 72, and she's got a lot of pretty flowers. And so I'm gonna go steal some stuff. And she even told me, she was like, come and take whatever you want. So I'll be over there taking things. Howie, your food forest, your garden looked amazing. I loved that. Go to Howie's page, and he was doing a tour on Saturday, which was National or International Permaculture Day. And it was great because I was out in the garden prepping. I didn't get to plant anything, but I had a lot of prep to do. And so go to his page and watch the video he did walking through the garden, which I think was a little later on Saturday. And he's plucking radishes right out of the ground, giving them a little wipe off and just eating it. And didn't have to be washed. And that's all that good bacteria that's coming from the earth is feeding his gut and feeding his microbiome in such a healthy way. So I was laughing when you were doing that, Howie, because I'm like, I literally do the same thing. And I know people would be like, ew, you gotta wash that. No, eat the dirt. Eat the freaking dirt. I like the older leaves of the horseradish chopped and eat with the meat. Oh, so do you cook it like spinach, or what do you do with that? I've never heard of eating. I'm certain they're edible. I just have never eaten it. I have never grown it, and I've never seen it like at the farmer's market to the leaves. So I'm inspired to grow it myself. So that would be great. Kenny said, your dad used to eat radishes like that with dinner. Oh, that's great. And I mean, oh my God, when you get those really good horseradishy radishes, God, they're so good. A friend of mine told me one time to take them, slice them, and put them on the grill and grill them. And so I got the big giant radishes, and I did that. I sliced them, give them a little grill, softened them up a little bit. And it was okay, but it took the horseradish away, and that spicy flavor away. And she said, oh, well, that's why I like it. I don't like the spicy flavor. And I was like, oh my God, that's the only reason I eat radishes. It's like wasabi. You got, the more it burns your brain, the better. Anywho, so I got a little glass of rosé because I've worked hard in the garden this weekend. Activating new T cells with a different combination by eating new microbes. Right. Like, don't be afraid of it. I did wash my, I picked a ton of chickweed. I don't know if I can post a picture from here. No, I can't. I don't want to screw it up and hang up on you guys. So I picked a ton of chickweed yesterday. I picked some plantain. I didn't have a ton. I'm gonna have to go searching because I know there's a bunch like in the tree line over there. Plantain and some, what else did I, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, I'll think about it. So I did wash those because I want to, ow, oh my God, the dog. but I want to put those in tinctures and salves. So, and I dehydrated them. So I did give them a little bit of wash to get some of that dirt off. And then I'm going to put them into some salves and tinctures and use those topically. And then I got a big pot of chickweed tea on the stove. And boy, it's so good, but I like it iced. It's super refreshing. And hey, Peaceful Penguin, how are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks everybody for being here. Make sure you hit the like button up there. Hey, Big Steve, always great to see you on a Sunday night. How are you doing, my friend? So we're just talking about Howie's steak and his fresh horseradish. So he's making all of us hungry. So what I was saying was that we got about halfway through the list of things that you should have in your pantry, and and then I was talking about Howie's video eating his radishes with the dirt on it, and it's like, oh yeah, and horseradish. I mean, horseradish alone, that's always in the pantry item. Always have that. So Howie says, eat the dirt unless there's manure present, and then leave it for a month. So yeah, and then wonderful to see you too, Peaceful Penguin. I appreciate you being here. Okay, so I'm gonna go, and you guys just drop your questions in there, and we'll just go as we go, and see what other questions you have. So we got last week, I think we got through the fats, and I think I left off, we talked about butter, tallow, coconut oil, lard. All I cook with are the hard oils. So again, butter, tallow, lard. I use olive oil for my salads, and everything else is, if I'm cooking, I'm using those hard oils. So I think that's where we left off. And then we're gonna go into fresh fruits and veggies, and this is where, a lot of people just don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. And what happens is, you go to the store, you're all gung-ho, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat more fruits and vegetables, and then they come and they sit in your drawer in your refrigerator, and then you don't eat them, and then they go spoil, and then that starts the cycle that says, well, I never get to them, so I'm just not gonna buy them, so I'm just not going to eat them. I'm gonna buy frozen, and you start going down this path of, because you don't eat them in the moment, you let them go too long, then you think that you just shouldn't buy fresh. But I want to really hopefully inspire you to start eating more fresh and making your plate mostly vegetables, and then putting your meat, your grass-fed meat, or your fish, wild caught fish, whatever that is, should be, that should be about 4 to 6 ounces. But then most of your plate should be vegetables, and you can really fill up on the vegetables, and then if maybe a good source of a carbohydrate, like if you wanted some carrots, some grilled carrots, or I like Yukon Gold potatoes. Peaceful Penguin's eating a sweet potato. I love sweet potatoes. I throw those in the air fryer. Love them in the air fryer. A little bit of cinnamon, garlic, and some salt, and they're amazing. Let's see. So Mandy says, I'm a real texture girl. I don't enjoy frozen veggies at all, and very few canned. I'm like, I don't understand the canned vegetable, because that is like, the only thing that is about the same from frozen to canned is corn. Everything else is just nasty. So Howie says he just bought 10 wild salmon. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Yeah, you're right there. Although we've got a lot of fishing here in Michigan, but it's controlled. There's a lot of the Indians are mostly the commercial fishermen. So, and then you can take a charter out. So if people are out personally fishing, I've been privy to getting a little bit from them. But for the most part, it's hard to get fish from our Great Lakes unless you know somebody who's going out personally, or you personally go get it yourself. There's occasionally, there'll like be a truck that'll show up at the farmer's market or something. But yeah, it's not like, it would be great like on the West Coast where you're at, Howie, where you could go to the dock and just, get your fish. And when I lived in California, I'd go up to San Francisco and we would do that. We'd get fresh fish and seafood right from the dock. And I mean, that was just so special. So I'm a little jealous of your wild salmon. Peaceful Penguin, you love fish. Awesome. I know I love fish too. That's also on the list. So fish is one of those things, if you can get your wild caught sources, I gotta see where I'm at because I'm jumping down here. We did, all right. So let me go back to fruits and vegetables real quick. So my first choice is fresh, locally grown. My second choice is fresh conventional, following the Clean 15. If you're not aware of the Clean 15 or the Dirty Dozen, the Environmental Working Group, they put out the two lists. The Clean 15 is if you were to eat fruits and vegetables and my computer's outside, or I would pull that up. If you were to eat fruits and vegetables from the Clean 15, you could eat those conventionally without too much exposure to chemicals. On the Dirty Dozen, those are absolutely not. You should always get organic when you are buying those fruits and vegetables. So go to ewg.org and you'll be able to look up the list of the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. And that's a really good guide, because things like strawberries and even kale, you should always have organic. Howie says, I can't eat farmed fish. It's gross. It's like junk. So for anybody who doesn't know, farmed versus wild. So farmed fish is about as unhealthy as conventionally raised meat and chicken and all of these highly abused animals with a lot of stress hormone, and they put tons of chemicals. And they raise the fish in pens in the ocean, and then they put all these chemicals into the pens, and then we get sea lice, and it's disturbing the wildlife in the ocean. Farm raised fish is so destructive to our environment. And then your omegas, we eat fish to get the omega fats, but oh my gosh, it's destroying the omega fats. It flips it. And it's very similar again to conventionally raised beef, where if you have a good grass-fed and grass-finished beef, you will get a higher level of omega-3s to omega-6s. So omega-3s are, you want all of them, but unfortunately in our world, our omega-3 to omega-6 ratio is about 20 to 1, meaning we got about 20 to 21 omega-6s to omega-3s. And omega-6s are highly, highly inflammatory. So we have to bring up, we should be at a 1-to-1 ratio. So we have to bring up the omega-3 ratios. So in conventionally grown meat, the omega-6 ratio is super high. There's almost no omega-3s in there. And then in the grass-fed, raised, and finished, make sure you get the finished in there, because some grass-fed beef, they'll say it's grass-fed, but then they will finish it on corn. And most corn, as we know, is GMO. So the omega-3 in grass-fed beef is much higher. So it can actually be anti-inflammatory. So the omega-6s are highly, highly inflammatory, and you want to avoid those. Let's see. So Howie says, the only frozen I eat is peas. They have the least toxins. And in some, there's something in the air when the pea shell will protect you. Okay, I haven't heard of that, but interesting. I do buy frozen peas. I don't eat a lot of peas, but that is one I'll buy frozen because they tend to stay a lot fresher. They're like flash frozen, but never a canned pea for sure. But yeah, if I need peas, I'm buying them frozen. It's hard to find those fresh anyway. So is oyster farming harmful in the same way? Good question, Peaceful Penguin. I don't know. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to look into that. because Lord knows I love me some oysters. I like the West Coast ones better than the East Coast. How about you? I see omega-3 eggs all the time. Do they add that somehow, or is it something the chickens eat? That's also a great question. I would have to see. So when you see the omega-3 eggs, yeah, I mean, are they adding stuff to it? Is it, so your healthiest egg and your healthiest chicken is going to be the one that is running around your own backyard. But most of us can't do that. So, so the healthiest ones that you can buy are going to be pasture raised. And I did a whole video. There's a video on my channel on eggs. And so, so if they're pasture raised, they have, oh my gosh, I forgot how, it's like 100 square feet per, I don't know, 2 or 4 birds. It's they get a ton of space to move around in. So much less stressed, humanely killed. And so they're going to be naturally higher in omega-3s. So when you see omega-3 eggs, does it say cage free? Does it say pasture raised? So that would be the clue. If, cage free doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy. And then there's, pasture raised is the best one. I'm trying to think of all the different layers. I don't have it off the top of my head at the moment. But so you'll wanna look at that and see, how much space has this chicken been running around on? Peaceful Penguin, I'm on the coast of Maine. Yeah, but if you're right there and they're super fresh like that, that's pretty special too. You get all that fresh seafood. I know, I'm kind of jealous about that. Feed the chickens and flaxseed and it's good. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing that, Howie, that to give them flaxseed and to give them, omega fats is bad. I'm just wondering, is it a marketing strategy? Is it, are they authentic in what they're saying that, these are already healthy animals and then they're adding that to their feed? So, and you guys have heard me talk enough that I question just about everything the food industry is doing. In fact, they are now looking at plant-based, there's a couple things going on. So plant-based vaccines. So they've been working on this for a few years where they are literally injecting or creating a vaccine that will then grow with a particular plant, let's say a watermelon, and then you eat it and you get inoculated. And the unfortunate part about this is that the way it's going at the moment is they don't have to label it. So we are literally lining up as experimental humans to take in these drugs. And they still, they'll still have to have adjuvants, and adjuvants are the stabilizers and they actually, that's what triggers your immune system. So the most common adjuvant is aluminum. So let's say the watermelon will have aluminum in it. And the studies that they're doing actually say could cause an allergy to the actual food itself. So I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on in our world. And this just goes to, you've got to start growing your own food. And I have attempted to save seeds in the past. I've been unsuccessful, but I'm sure Howie's got some really great videos on seed saving, because I think it's even more important to pay attention to that, because they're just adulterating our food system for their own gain, and it's going to make all of us sick. You think you're going to eat vegetables that are going to be healthy for you, and yet you're going to be lining up and getting a vaccination through a plant that you haven't even been told. And we've been fighting for informed consent on vaccinations for years. You walk into your pediatrician, and I had a woman with her 6-month-old baby, and they gave the baby 3, 6, 7, 8 vaccinations in one day. 8. ate in a 6-month-old baby and did not tell the mother what was in it, didn't tell the mother how many. They were just like, no, this is what she needs today. And the mom didn't know. She's young. She didn't think to question. So, working on that level of education and saying you need to ask questions, because lining up for this stuff is going to be very dangerous for all of us. Make It by Mandy says, it's in Costco. I haven't read the package too closely. Just remember seeing the omega-3 part. I highly doubt they are cage-free. One of the things at Costco, I don't know about I know Costco's organic chickens. They have this I forget what the name of it. I'm just going to say, completely paraphrasing. It's like Happy Chickens, right? And it's like some certification for humanely raised chickens. Now, again, what is humanely raised? What are the parameters around that? So better than nothing on the organic side, but curious to know if that's the one, excuse me, that has the omega-3 label. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look. I've got to go there this week, so I'll take a look and I'll see what I can find for you. Let's see. So Peaceful Penguin says, Everyday Ayurvedic Cooking for a Calm, Clear Mind is a great book for anyone interested. Oh, thank you. She says, I enjoy the information you have. I am going to, hold on, Everyday Ayurvedic. Just writing that down. Okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate the book recommendation. Always looking for good stuff like that. And Food Forest, Howie says, local farmers the way to go, 100%. So Wednesday, so the farmers market here just started last Wednesday, and it was a cold and miserable day. And unfortunately, I had Zoom calls all morning, so I couldn't get over there. So this Wednesday, I'm gonna go over there, and I think I might just go live instead of doing a video. I think that'll be fun to go live. You're gonna see me a lot at the farmer's market because it's my happy time and it's my happy place. Now, we don't have a lot of organic farmers around here. So we have some farmers who are conventional, but they're non-GMO, and they spray very little. So I say that to say, if I have the choice between, we'll go with watermelon again, between a watermelon from a local farmer who came 30 minutes away, or a watermelon that came from Mexico that's organic, I'm picking the one from the local farmer because it just feels like a better choice. You've got, food that's been grown closer to home by local people. And again, we don't know what the food industry is putting in these things. So what happened in Mexico, I don't know. So anyway, I look at that, I look at the footprint of the food too that we're getting. So when you're in the store and you see these foods that are coming from Mexico or Chile, or I don't think we label them from China, but again, deception all the way. So one must know when to say no. What are you referring to, Peaceful Penguin? Howie says, my daddy taught me not to get in the lineup. Just watch that happen. Observation is key to survival in nature. So when around Earthling, A game is on when watching. Yeah. Science in its truest form is observation. I like that, Peaceful Penguin. And science is never complete. We have to always ask questions, and it's a big hypothesis. So when people say, follow the science, and I'm science, and what I say goes, science, 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 you might not know what you're talking about. So just saying that. Watermelon rind pickles are tasty. I know, people have said that. I think that could be, do you make them? Do you make them yourself? You pickle the watermelon rinds yourself? Garlic labeled from China in local stores here. Crazy. And yeah, Mandy, I know. So I've been getting my garlic from a local farmer who I buy my pork from. Haven't gotten beef from him yet, but I get my Christmas trees from him. There's a video on my channel about, I was out at his farm at Christmas time doing the trees, and also when I bought a pig, I think the video's named I Bought a Pig. I put a picture of the pig on the thumbnail, and then people actually thought I bought a pig. And then I was like, ooh, they're gonna not like that I'm eating that pig. So I changed the thumbnail. So I was like, okay. But anyway, he grows fresh garlic, and oh my God, it's so good, and it stays fresh for so long. You know, it's almost like wet. Like you realize what good garlic is when you take that bulb out, and it's like, there's so much moisture. The water content is so high in it. And then when you smash it and oh my God, it's so fragrant. So look for local garlic. I am going to plant some. Would love to have, my own garlic. So we go through a ton of garlic. So I'll be growing some garlic. So, Peaceful Penguin says, no is the lost word of Freemasonry. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, watermelon rind pickles. Okay, I'm gonna have to get that. All right. Yeah, that's a good one. A lot of canned food. Plant the garlic now. Okay, and so I'm guessing, Howie, that when I plant the garlic, hey, do you know, I've got, I'm amending a field. I mean, it's like 16 by 20, maybe, 20 by 20 area. Do you know the pH? Because I'm put sulfur on it because I'm putting blueberries in back there. I'll have my blueberry plants in a few weeks. And so I had to bring the pH was like 8, and blueberries need like a 3.5. So I'm wondering if I can plant them back there, if that would be too acidic for them. But so Peaceful Penguin, you planted garlic in November. And did it come up? I mean, last November? So garlic is next on the list. pH 4 for blueberry. Yeah, it was 8 though. So I put the sulfur back there, and and here's what's interesting. That area, I'm gonna have to like turn my Wi-Fi off and take you guys outside and give you a little tour. I wonder if I can do that right now. I don't know all right, tell me how my signal is. Am I good? So what's interesting is that the area back there, all right, I'm gonna try to move with you. Yes, we plant garlic late fall every year and put hay over it. Okay. All right, so okay. All right, here we go. We're gonna go out into the back. I'll show you what's going on. Figure if the Wi-Fi signal's on, then it will not like me very much. All right, so Howie says, might take 2 seasons to grow your garlic if you don't plant in August. Okay. Well, maybe I'll do both, right? I mean, I can plant some now and plant some in August. I mean, why not, right? It's an experiment, isn't it? Okay, so this is really cool. And show you here. All right. So, so this area, so look at these gooseberries. I planted these gooseberries a few years ago, and I had 3 of them back here. And the third one, and I didn't think they were going to last, but and last year I got the best gooseberries. They were big and juicy and sweet. Look at all the buds on there. These are going to just explode this year. I'm super happy with them. And I've got a couple out front. So this little area back here, I can't lock my thing there. There we go. Okay. All right. So this area back here used to grow. So you see this purple dead nettle, and it used to grow just stinging nettle, which, and I got some catnip in here. A little catnip there. Oh, there's some stinging nettle over there. So there's one little plot over there. And so I came back here. There's more catnip. I hate catnip, by the way. And so I put sulfur down. And this is what grew. Purple dead nettle in my yard. And, I've been reading up on it. So I thought it was just really interesting how you change the pH just a little bit, and I still got nettle, but it decided to give me a little different nettle. So yeah, that was cool. So Howie says peat moss mixed in will lower your pH. Yeah, so I did the sulfur first, and then I'm gonna get some peat delivered, and then I got a teenage kid that does my lawn, so I'm gonna make him do it. So this is where my pine tree. So you can see that white pine there. That's our state tree here in Michigan. Just super majestic, and mine was several feet taller than that, and it was way up there. So that came down, and I found morels in here last year. So that was fun. I've never found a morel in my life, so now I keep looking, hoping that I'll get more morels. Peaceful Penguin, do I grow lavender? I sure do. Let me go show you the lavender. So, again, like, just throw stuff in your yard and start growing. And I had issues with lavender. I was trying to grow it in pots for many years, and so that I could take it inside, and it would never survive inside, and it didn't do well in pots. So one year I was like, oh, to heck with it, and I just threw it in the ground, because also it's not supposed to grow great in here. It's gets kind of cold, and so this guy has been doing pretty good. So it doesn't super flourish, but this will flower out, and then so that's one kind, and I don't know the difference between them. But there's another lavender. I planted that 2 years ago. This is stone crop. If you don't know what stone crop is, I've got two. So this one, my mom brought me a small clump of this from my grandmother's house about 22 years ago when I moved in. And it is everywhere. You can see it. It's a ground cover. And there's more chickweed. I let that go. But you can see it's all in here. It takes over. So you do have to be a little careful with the stone crop. But the good thing about stone crop is, and these are phlox, it choked out my phlox. So I got those coming back to life. And this should be a flower bed eventually if I can keep the dog away from it. So, yeah, so I have two types of stone crop. Stone crop is excellent for skin burns. It's used a lot in facial, like skin care for basically aging skin. Like, it's an anti-aging. Tell me if I'm good here. All right, can you guys hear me okay? Since I turned the Wi-Fi off. How's my signal? So stone crop is used for aging skin. I've got right here, those are currants, and I think I've talked about those before in another video. Super, super high in antioxidants. These particular ones that I have don't taste great. They're astringent. So I pick them and freeze them and then just throw them in my shakes, or mix them with other berries or something. So, but they're not great on their own, but again, it's a food crop. So I'm going to leave it and let it do its thing, and let it grow. And I have some chives growing. And then the garden over there, I'll take you over there. I know we're supposed to be talking about the pantry, but I'm so excited about gardening, getting food growing, and I hope you are too. And, you know, you don't have to have a whole lot of space. That's the whole thing, right? So it's blurry, but you can hear me. Okay, so I just moved. I'm a little further. Well, I'm out of Wi-Fi. Can you hear me okay? See me okay? Let's see what we got there. Okay, so this has a fence around it. And I used to have, you know, a few yards of manure brought in, but the problem was I was getting it from a farmer, and it was really clumpy and very clay-like. It was really hard to work with and very heavy. And so this just was a lot easier to use the bags. I can throw them where I want them and then just open them up and let them go. So just simplifying the process. But I might extend that fence out a little bit further and go a little further out with the garden, weed whipped around the sides. You always got to see the dog. And then I did a video on this over here, which I'm like, yeah, this is why don't cut your grass. Oh, that's what this was, the herb, whatever plant is the wood sorrel. So I dried some of that because I don't want to eat this. It's super high in oxalates. And I don't particularly have an oxalate issue, but you know, you don't want to develop one either. So I have plenty of other greens and things that I like to eat that that are, you know, good for me. This is my thyme. Look at that. Isn't she beautiful? And this is my oregano. Can you smell it from here? It's so amazing. And then this is my sage that comes back every year. And some tarragon. This is my favorite herb right here. If you haven't had tarragon, it's so good. I think that's a little burdock growing in there. Some mint. That's super invasive. So when people tell me, oh, I love to plant mint, I'm like, be careful. It takes over and it's hard to get rid of. But that's also, you know, it's good and bad. You can easily manage it. So you don't have to, you know, worry about it it pulls easily. So let's see. So Howie says going to be on Garden State Gardener soon as a guest. So, oh, good. Awesome. Oh, we might need to jump in there. When is it going to be recorded or is it live? Thanks for jumping in, Howie. Appreciate it. Yeah. So mint is awesome. I hope it takes over. You can have some. I'll send you some. I have plenty. Yeah, my mom used it in everything, so I think she over minted me. So live in 4 minutes. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, maybe what's the site, Howie? Can you drop the link to the actual page and then we can all grab it from here? Yeah, we should jump over there. Thanks for being here, Howie. And I'm going to go through a couple more things and then we can wrap it up for today. So we did talk about garlic and that the stuff in the jar, the chopped stuff in the jar with sodium benzoate and whatever else is in there. I think it's in, I don't know if they put it in vinegar or what, but then they add some additives in there. So that's not garlic. It doesn't taste like garlic. You really, okay, so hold on. How do I make you a moderator? There you go. Do I want a standard? Yeah, make you a standard. Hold on. All right, Howie, I'm making you a moderator. Do I want to make you a standard moderator or do I want to make you a, let's say managing moderator? I don't see a wrench. Is that when you get the blue wrench? Let me remove you from there and then let me add you here. There. Let's see. Does that give you a wrench? I don't see wrenches now. Okay, we'll find it. Yeah, we'll find it. Let's see. Hold on, Mandy. Let me jump here I'm gonna remove you as standard. Howie told me about this a while ago, completely forgot. You can tell I'm new to all the stuff. Let's see, Steve, I'm assuming if you have a wrench there, let's see. Who did I do? Okay, and then, okay, I think I got everybody. There you go. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Okay, that sounds great. So we'll jump over, we'll give Howie some love over there. That would be great. I'm gonna put a line here, and we're gonna start next week with nuts and seeds and what all of that means, because there's a lot of deception in the nuts and seeds on the market. And then, of course, with the garlic, making sure that it is fresh. Now, on occasion, if you're using a lot of garlic, I'm not opposed to buying the pre-peeled stuff in the container. Like, you're welcome. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just coming on here. So yeah, and now you're official. Everybody gets a blue wrench. Woo woo. So yeah, but yeah, like when I make salsa and I need, a half a pound of garlic, I'm going to buy the pre-peeled stuff. I'm not going to actually peel that myself. So, but for regular everyday cooking, I'm definitely peeling it myself, giving it a smash, getting the Allison. We talked about that, allowing that to get into to be released and activated, and then you get the benefit of the actual fresh garlic. So, all right. So next week we'll go into nuts, seeds, and chocolate. And what does your chocolate have in it, and what do you need to be looking for? So, a little foreshadowing there. If you like chocolate, you're going to want to be on that one. So I think that deserves like a whole separate video, don't you? I think so. All right, cool. Let's jump over and give Howie some love. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being so patient while I work out all of my technical issues. You don't like chocolate, Mandy? Oh my God. That's like when people tell me they don't like bacon. I'm like, how can you not like bacon? Bacon or chocolate. All right, you guys, have an amazing week. Thanks again for being here. I always appreciate your love and support. And let's jump over and give Howie some love and support. We'll see you on over there. All right. See ya. Have a great week. Mwah.